couples are going 50-50 while building absolutely nothing. Then he went on to say that how that's not an actual relationship strategy.
I think you reject 50-50 because you were told to. You were influenced to. Subscribe. Let's talk about it.
The other day, I listened to a guy say that on the internet that 70% of couples are going 50-50 while building absolutely nothing. Then he went on to say that how that's not an actual relationship strategy. Instead, that's two people going broke together semi-intentionally. And when I tell you, I gasped because I was like, sir, why would you come on the internet and say that to people? But honestly, I felt like it was kind of the truth. I am not married and I'm not in a place where I'm going to have combined finances or have to split things 50-50 with anyone. So I'm honestly kind of confused. When you go into a relationship, don't you want transparency? Don't you want each other to like put everything together? I don't personally understand 50-50, but I'm not saying it's wrong. But I want to know, what do y'all think? Do you believe in going 50-50 or are we all in?
I believe collaborative effort is always going to be better on average than you going it alone. Because we come on here and we just lie to each other, right? We lie to each other. The amount of men you see on here talking about making six figures, right? The amount of black men, right? We just look at that. Even if we just sat there and did the math and we understand this online space is a small sliver of space, but 8% of black men in the United States make over six figures. But 100% of them online tell them that they make more. So being online, being on social media requires you to use a bit of discernment. A lot. What you don't see is discernment. When they say this is what it should be, 50-50, you can't go 50-50 in a relationship. You'd rather do it all by yourself. You were influenced to believe that. How do I know this? Because I'm old enough to remember when you guys wanted a partnership, when you guys wanted a ride or die, when you wanted to build an empire together. He's a doctor, you're a lawyer. That's what I grew up with. That was the understanding that it's going to be a collaborative effort, especially in the black community. Black women have always worked. You've always worked. You can't hide behind, well, back in the day, we didn't have to. You had to. You cleaned people's houses, right? You did menial labor. You did it. That's the historical context in the black community. You did that. So now to believe that, no, you're supposed to take care of all this, whose history are you taking? Whose history are you adopting? Whose history are you supplanting with your own? Whose outcome are you trying to achieve without their history? That's not really how things tend to happen. Well, we told you before, you wanted to be Jay-Z, you want to be Beyonce, you wanted that type of relationship where both of you are mutually successful. When you combine this thing, you build an empire. Remember that empire, you used to say that in the black community, we say that all the time. You want to build an empire. You were influenced to say that, to think that. And then you switched that. As time trucked forward and you got older, you got out there in the workforce, you said, the hell with this. The hell with this. This is difficult. I don't really like this. I don't really enjoy this. Then they influence you again to say, he has to pay all the bills. You went from believing that you're going to go out there and conquer the world too, then you're going to combine this thing together, then you're going to become moguls, then you're going to build the empire. Empires are over kingdoms. You're going to build all of that. Now you wanted to be princesses. Now you wanted to have this soft era, and in which somehow you're still supposed to enjoy the same level of success as those folks that built empires, that held multiple kingdoms and ruled over multiple kingdoms. That's what you wanted. No effort. I want that type of life, but it should be on your back. How do we get here? Very simple. You started only valuing men for their, what they produce. And that was probably the same back then when we were supposed to build empires. But then you started increasing your contribution. And not your monetary contribution. You kept saying, well, woman does this and does this and does this. The mental load, the risk of childbirth. These things are real, but you started inflating its value while keeping men at the same or dropping them. You created this artificial social imbalance that you thought made sense, that you thought would be enough to say, that's why you deserve to sit at home. That's why you deserve to be taken care of. Now, when we have this conversation back in reality in which it has to exist, we have to look at the data. We have to look and say, what is the average income in the United States? What is the average person making? Can that now support that life that you want? We'll go further. You have to look at saying, in terms of generational wealth, how does that actually become created? When you have people working collaborative together, what does the data say? On average, you get a better outcome in life in terms of life expectancy, in terms of reported happiness, in terms of net worth. In terms of net worth, collaboratively, you still outflank everyone else. The average net worth of a married couple is somewhere like $432,000 versus single, you're in a negative, especially if you're Black. You may be in zero. Your net worth is zero. So we went from imagining passing on this generational wealth to not even having the ability to pass anything on. We have kids. We have kids in single households, but you don't have anything to pass on except the same sort of trauma, same sort of issues that you have adopted in order just to simply survive. Now we have this idea that you're supposed to not only put me up at home, you're supposed to give me the life of leisure and luxury as well. This is where the conversation starts to fray and starts to completely die out. It's when the candle gives up and says, none of this makes sense. It's too windy. There's too many obstacles here. How? Holding what the average salary is, holding for what that is. It's impossible. Unless you're willing to live a life of something mediocrity under, say I make $80,000. You now have to live with under that. Let's say we have kids now. Everything has to be tight. Everything's accounted for. Everything. You can do that, but no, remember, being a stay-at-home mom, being a stay-at-home girlfriend, wife, requires large ease. You're supposed to be able to go to Pilates. You're supposed to be able to go to the country club, vacation. He's supposed to be available whatever you need when you need it. Now we've added a new caveat, because if you become a stay-at-home wife, mother, then you're out of the workforce. Now you're out his beck and call. Financially, you need to be protected. So while you're also doing these things at home, he needs to set aside money for your own 401k. He needs to pay you a salary. We inflated the value of our work on the female side, on the woman's side. And then we said, men, you have to now do something else to meet that. But you don't have any new value for us to look at there and appraise. What you have is the same thing Joe always has. You got to make more money. All of that, we say, okay. Right? There's some of us that absolutely say, absolutely not. But let's say, for the sake of this discussion, okay. Now the conversation retracts and it goes back to, if that is the requirement for men and only 8% of them begin to approach the ability to do that, what is dating? Listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you're listening to some of us now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.